Hello garden friends, and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. I am Debbie, gardening in Zone 5B, southwest suburbs of Chicago. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a late summer garden tour of my own garden. Make sure you stay till the end where I share a garden tip about starting your second crop of lettuce. So originally I was hoping to show you my other gardens that I have. I have a cut flower garden, 2 raised beds in a community garden, and also a farm garden. But we had quite a bit of rain off and on, and I wasn't able to get to a couple of them to get them ready for a video. But I should be able to do that this weekend, and I will show you that video next week. So today I'll show you around my garden. And of course there is some weeding again to do. And I'm also going to be doing 2 more farmers markets. For those that have been watching my video, I will share that video above of my farmers market that I had earlier in the summer, and those I gave away plant starts. It didn't go as well as I would hope, but hopefully these next 2 weeks I'm going to be selling cut flowers. I'm going to be bringing some butterflies, some monarchs and black swallowtails for demo to show kids and adults, and also giving away some milkweed and some free tattoos. So hopefully I'll have more success for the next 2 weeks for those markets. So I'm hoping to bring my video camera and get a couple of videos of that market, and also what I'll be doing to prepare for that market. So in today's video I wanted to just show you the progress of my own garden and what's blooming and what things have kind of started to fizzle out. Some things are just starting to explode, like my elephant ears. I just planted more zinnias and sunflowers. Those look awesome. But some of my hanging baskets have seen better days. They definitely needed some deadheading that I didn't get to. And petunias tend to get kind of scraggly in the late summer. So after this video, I will be probably pulling all of those hanging baskets. And mums are right around the corner at my garden center. They said they're going to be getting some early mums. It's a little too soon for me to put out my mums, but for sure the hanging baskets have seen better days, and you will see that when we go out. I also have some perennials that are just starting to take off, like my butterfly bush and my perennial hibiscus. I have many different colors of hibiscus, so you will see that in my sunken garden. And again, in that fenced area, I went from doing my ranunculus and anemones. And again, those were a little better than last year. Last year I had some rabbit issues that they seemed to eat all of my ranunculus and anemones. They looked better, but the bunnies got to them. This year, the anemones and the ranunculus didn't look as great. And I think that's because we went right from spring to hot summer. Next year I'm going to be putting a shade cloth over them to make sure that they do better next year. So let's go around my garden and see what's blooming and growing. Okay, so now we're in my crabapple garden. And again, there are some weeds popping up. I did get through this already once this season. I have a hydrangea, some allium, and over there you can see the surprise lily. Early in the spring they were leaves, a bunch of milkweed, and I did cut back my salvia, and it is reblooming. I've got lavender, hostas, this is goldenrod here, lamb's ear, peony, and here's another surprise lily. I cut my catmint back the last video, and see, it's come back great. And then there's a perennial mum over there. This is my shade garden, and next year I think what I'm going to do is put my elephant ears in here, because I'll show you what that looks like right now. And I wanted to show you my strawberries. They're doing pretty good. I'll show you my green stalk, and I'll probably be putting all of those strawberries in here. So these are all my strawberries. And I do have a couple hanging baskets. This one's doing better than the other one. I'm not sure if it's not getting enough water. There's some asparagus that I'm trying one last time. Now let's go up to my deck and show you all my planters that I planted. And I will link that video above of what all of the varieties are, but there's generally the theme was red, green, and white, so I did some elephant ears, some thriller, filler, and spiller plants. The coleus have went crazy and kind of took over the planters. I do have some caladiums popping up and some calla lilies. They haven't quite bloomed yet. So these are all my pots. I repeated some of these. And a couple weeks ago we had a really bad wind, so a couple of these, the petunias kind of got broken off, but they're rebounding. There's my cannas, more elephant ears, and pretty soon this is all going to be in bloom. These are all of my zinnias and sunflowers that I'll be cutting, and I have a random dahlia in there. Okay, and then on this side, these are all my I pollinate plants. So every third week we monitor what kind of insects are on the plants depending on color and variety, and there's swamp milkweed there. This year I only did a couple tomatoes on my deck, so I have a couple of cherry tomatoes. That's my favorite, good-hearted. This is my cilantro that's going to be going to seed, and you could see cilantro goes to seed and is coriander. And my oregano is blooming right now. This yellow looking sunflower is called prairie dock. So these shoot up some huge yellow flowers. And I have some more elephant ears here. One of my blueberries did not make it. Hopefully this one will. And then I have all of my other random plants, and I'm going to be cutting all of these flowers off for my farmer's market. And I wanted to show you this. So that's the last of my veggie pod, the dill and fennel. Here is my green stalk, doing great with the strawberries. And then I have some more herbs over here. I wanted to show you this elephant ear. This one's huge. So this one is one that I planted in my front container, but it wasn't blooming, and now it's taken off. So let's go down and I will show you my sunken garden. And I'm going to be putting mainly perennials in this garden from now on. So the bunnies, I did get a random random zinnia in here. This is my service berry hanging over here. And this should be a cardinal flower, not blooming yet. More perennial hibiscus, purple and white. This is the 7-flower shrub that hasn't quite bloomed yet with a maple behind it. And this is what I was talking about. My hanging baskets are looking a little tired. This is Joe Pye weed, allium, flax. This is my hummingbird magnet vine, honeysuckle. They love this. And I think and there is a hummingbird that just came by. Let's hope he comes back and visits again. But as you could see, they love that plant. My bee balm is pretty much done. I have some random coneflowers in here that I will leave. And some more allium that's popping up through here. This is where I'm going to be just having my milkweed and host plants in here. And And my fountain, here's another type of perennial hibiscus with a volunteer coneflower as well. And here is more of my perennial butterfly garden. There is agashdashi, if you call it that, and some more natives. This is rue, and I have a couple of coneflowers in here, kind of buried in there. I think there's a red one in there, you might be able to see, and there's a yellow, that's a coreopsis, but there is a yellow coneflower in here. And that looks like a weed that I have to get. Over here I planted a bunch of yarrow, and I forgot what these are called, the botanical name, I'll link it above, but they look like firecracker plants. And I'll show you a picture of what it looked like in full bloom. I'm not quite sure what this plant is, but I'm thinking it may be an aster since it's late. But I believe that's what I planted there. So let's go to the front and I'll show you my entrance. Okay, we're heading towards my front entrance. I've got some wave petunias, elephant ears that look like they really didn't like the hot sun. I have a couple of lemon trees. I believe this is a type of cactus, or definitely a tropical that blooms, not quite in bloom, my pineapple, and another repeat. And I have a hydrangea back there. And here is my front entrance. This is exactly the color theme that I was looking for, red, green, and white. So this is in full bloom now, just the way I was hoping it would look. So I have some caladiums, I have some callas, I have some cannas in here, and verbena, calabricoa, and here's another planter with the mandevilla. And again, I have another planter over here that's probably pretty much done, that I will be planting with mums pretty soon. And I will follow up with, this is all of my milkweed that I will soon be getting seeds. These are the pods. These right here. Let me get a close-up of one. Those are the pods. They're not quite ready. You gotta wait till they start opening up and the seeds will be viable. And then you can just throw them down in the fall or save them till spring. I do have a monarch. It's in a mesh bag. Let's see if I can focus. It was on my shorts video. This is pretty hard to see, but there is there it is, chrysalis, but it's not quite ready to come out. I'm just protecting it till it's ready, and then once it gets dark I will be taking that mesh cover off and release it. But that was the first caterpillar that I found on my milk, and I followed it till it went into its chrysalis and waiting for it to emerge. This is Hummingbird Lane. I've got some sedum, some hydrangeas, again some more huge perennial hibiscus. I've got a couple of lime hydrangeas. I've got a little lime back there with some potentilla and lots of weeds, as you can see. So this is the area that I didn't get to that I'm hoping to this weekend. So that is it for my garden tour. So I'm going to end with just my front entrance here with all of my plants doing very well. And maybe in another month, not sure if I'll change this over, but I will be incorporating some mums at that time. So I will end this garden tour with my front entrance. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my garden and the progress throughout the summer months. So give it a like and comment below your favorite summer bloom. And like I said, next week I will be hoping to do my other garden tours of my raised beds, my farm garden, and my cut flower garden. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell for that future video. Also, I have a couple of trips planned. I am going to be going to Baker Creek and viewing their seed company and their farm. So I'm excited about that. I'm staying in my first Airbnb. So after that, I'm going to be going to a Master Gardeners Conference in Peoria. Last year, it was in near my hometown, and I did not have to stay overnight. But this year it's a little bit farther away, about 2.5 hours away in Peoria, and I will be doing a couple of field trips and hope to take you along on that little field trip. And then finally, in October, I'm going to be taking you to Michigan. I was going to go a couple weeks ago, but I saw that they have a really nice fall display at the Botanical Garden. So I'm going to be taking that trip to Michigan to Grand Rapids in the beginning to mid-October. So make sure you're following along. Now I'd like to share that garden tip about starting your second crop of lettuce. Thanks for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.